Okay, thank you for the introduction, and super excited to be here. I remember doing the TED Talk the night before I did the TED Talk here. We came in and I learned about the PC being developed here. So first of all, get loud about that. That's pretty cool, right? For entrepreneurs out there, that's pretty cool, okay? So I'm the guy who built a $1 billion company and lost it. I'm the guy that had to lay off 2,400 employees. 40,000 customers out there with no answers. Costing me personally $400 million, which hurts. But what hurts more is it was a black eye for the industry, something I believe in, solar energy, something that I love. You know, it's innovative. It allows people to own their power. It gives energy independence. And I had a product liability issue with a company called Generac, and we were getting ready to go public. We had a $1.05 billion valuation. We were doing a reverse merger. For a lot of the entrepreneurs out there that are new in the entrepreneur game or just starting a business, that means that somebody's already publicly traded. They have a lot of cash capital on their balance sheet, and they're gonna reverse buy your company because you're valued more than them. And so they were gonna buy us, a company called XL Fleet, which actually takes gas cars and turns them into hybrids. Bad technology, bad company, but they had cash and they needed to be revived. And so they wanted to get in the energy independent space. And we had a company that installed solar on 5 NFL stadiums and that did all these things great and the best service and the best rating. And then we had a product liability issue where people's systems weren't working. 20,000 of our 40,000 customers, the system's not working. Firmware update went out and it crashed everything. We went from being $650 million in revenue in 2021 and super profitable to losing $190 million in 2022. Laying people off. And that's tough. You know, as somebody who started a business really young, you know, watching my parents struggle. They didn't finish high school. I didn't finish traditional high school. Watching them work 2 and 3 jobs, helping my dad deliver papers every day and then going to school was hard. And I saw him miss out on opportunity to open his business. I saw him have an opportunity to open back when video stores were cool. Everybody remembers that, right? When Blockbusters and everything was booming. He had a buddy that had 30 video stores, and he assured him, hey, Bill, if you stay here, you can open up your own sub shop. And Sherry, my mom, she can have, because she decorated cakes at the grocery store, she can have a bakery. So you'd be in there getting your movies and you can smell the subs and you can smell the cookies. I was 14 years old and I watched him say no. I watched him play the game of life by trying not to lose. He didn't play to win. And that's what I learned as a young person when we moved to North Carolina and I lived in a trailer park. And I bring that up, not that it matters that I lived in a trailer park, but it mattered when I was 14. People made fun of me. People judged me based on the car with no air conditioning that my dad would drop me off in. People would judge me and say, my own in-laws, and now they're my in-laws, but they weren't then, would judge me saying, oh, they're like the Flintstones. They can stick their feet out and move their house. And I mean, that's hard when you're 14. I've got 4 kids now and 2 grandkids. I've got a 14-year-old now that's getting bullied for the opposite reason. Because I'm successful, because we have a reality TV show, because of all these things. Life is hard. The world will hit you. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter what education you've got. It doesn't matter who you know or what you've done. Life happens. I'm here to tell you, it happens. And how you react to when things happen is what matters the most. When life hits you, you have 2 choices. You can sit and you can take it, or you can do something about it. I had a TED Talk that I was, blessed enough to come here and do a TED Talk a couple years ago where I talked about the buffalo mindset compared to the cow mindset. Does anybody know what the difference is? Does anybody understand what I'm talking about? Let me break it down. So a cow's mentality, which is most people in this planet, most people in this world have a cow's mentality. Storm is coming, they run. Think of the storm as anxiety, depression, obstacles, insecurity, jealousy, doubt. That's your storm. Fear, that's your storm. People run from those problems every day. Most of us in here ran from those problems somehow, some way today or yesterday. Oh, I was scared to apply for that job. I was scared to open that business. I was scared to ask that person out. Oh, I don't feel secure enough to do that. I'm not good enough. You doubt yourself. That's the storm. And most of us run from that. A buffalo's mentality is a little different. Sees the storm and it runs right through it. Why? Because when you run through your problems, when you face fear, when you face doubt, when you face struggle, anxiety, depression, all of those things, you go through those battles, you get to a blessing. Losing $400 million, laying off 2,400 employees, everything everybody goes through, it's all relative. I'm not saying my problem's bigger or smaller than anybody else's, but I will tell you it's depressing. I didn't know what depression was until that happened. And I've had a lot of things happen in my life, but when that happened for 90 days, I was mad. I wanted to explode Generac. I wanted to go there and beat up every single executive in that building because I felt like they just took advantage of our company and made us the scapegoat, and I was really upset. But I couldn't do that. I have 4 kids. I have 2 grandkids. I have people that depend on me. I have a wife. I have family that look at me, friends, peers that need me to succeed. So instead of sitting there, I had that buffalo mindset, I got to get through this. And in some cases, when you're getting through things, you have to be able to become the storm itself. And so when I had that identity issue, I said, how can I disrupt things? What can I do differently? I've had 2 successful podcasts just talking about business and entrepreneurship. I've had Kevin O'Leary on. I've had Grant Cardone on. I've Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, Mark Wahlberg, Sugar Ray Leonard. I've had big guys on and ladies on. But I said, I'm tired of that. I want to do something different. So I created Unleashed. And I created Unleashed because, look, when you go through a thing like that, sometimes your bipolar kicks in. Everybody's got something. They say they don't. I assure you, everybody here's got some kind of personality disorder. And I know my bipolar kicked in. Now I go from talking about business and money to I'm arguing about politics, to I'm talking about animals and butterflies and aliens. Like, I've lost my mind. But guess what? I've become the storm. I've now created 2 other businesses. One's already worth $25 million. It just hit a year old. I say this because scared money don't make money. I mentioned my dad and mom earlier, not taking chances. They're living their life to not fail. You need to live your life to win. Don't play it safe. Bet on yourself. Become that storm. Have that buffalo mindset. Bet on yourself. You're an entrepreneur. Put everything that you've got on yourself. Because if you're not going to bet on yourself, nobody else is going to bet on you. They're just going to hear you talking and you're just going to move along. But if you want people to believe in you, to invest in you, we're getting ready to hear some folks pitch today, right? They've got to bet on themselves. They've got to be passionate and believe on themselves. That's the biggest key, or nobody will bet on you. That's why scared money don't make money. I'm going to finish up here because I know we got a few more minutes. Don't argue with jackasses. Right? Pretty simple thing. So I'm going to start with a story about the lion, the tiger, and the donkey. When I was going through those 90 days of like, what am I going to do? My family's looking at me crazy. Dad, what's going to happen? I was all over the news. This guy lost his business and laid off all these people. It was bad. We were getting death threats. The FBI was at our house because people were so pissed we were getting death threats. My kids were getting bullied all the way. My daughter in college at Alabama getting bullied because of everything going on. Because we were in 17 states. We installed solar on 5 NFL stadiums. We were pretty big. So when we laid off 2,400 people, it wasn't like a small company closing, and that's still hard. This was news everywhere. And so I didn't know what to do, and it started to bother me a little bit about what people thought. I used to really care what people thought. I really don't now. If you go watch me now and you follow me now and you do the show, you're like, holy crap, this guy's nuts. He's batshit crazy. Yeah, because I don't care. Because when you get to that point, you have that power. But I got to that point because I saw something on TikTok that really made me feel like that is how I need to be. So I'm going to tell the quick story. So the donkey and the tiger are arguing about the grass being blue. The donkey goes to the tiger, the grass is blue. And the tiger says, no, it's green. Donkey says, no, that grass is blue. And tiger says, no, it's green. Donkey says, well, let's go talk to the king of the jungle. Let's go talk to the lion. So they go to the lion, and the donkey hurries up and jumps up and says, lion, the grass is blue. Can you please tell the tiger that the grass is blue? The lion says, grass is blue. The donkey says, well, then can you please punish the tiger for arguing with me about the grass being blue? Lion says, I will punish the tiger. The donkey hops off, leaves. Tiger says, okay, Mr. Lion, I'm going to take my punishment, but please explain to me because the grass is truly green. Lion says, the grass is green. Tiger says, I don't understand, then why are you punishing me? The lion says, because you are a force in this jungle and a very important animal, and you're wasting your time arguing with a jackass about what they believe in the grass being blue or green, wasting my time. Therefore, you're punished for wasting your time and my time on a jackass. Now think about you opening a business and those people that are like, that won't work. You're out of your mind. I'm not following your dreams, whatever. You can't convince people otherwise. You just can't. So to waste your energy and your time, because you don't got a lot of it, on trying to convince jackasses to figure you out, save that energy to continue to double down on yourself and bet on yourself and matter for those people that believe in you. Because friends, family, sometimes some of them won't believe in you. Don't waste your time trying to convince them. So I'll wrap up here saying, when everything went down the way it did, my family was, like I told you, death threats. What are we going to do now, Dad? How's this going to work? I decided to build a couple new companies, which are going well. And I decided to get in the coaching business, which I actually love the coaching business. I mentor and coach different business owners, entrepreneurs from all sorts, from startups to a couple of them worth $600-700 million. Couple NFL players. I love it. It's exciting. It's fulfilling because I can tell them the journey building not one, not two, not three, but now 4 companies worth over 10 million, one worth $1 billion. I can tell them the journey of how to do ROAS, how to build how to scale, how to do the digital marketing, how to build their bench strength, all these things that matter. But then I was approached by Amazon. Hey, we should do a show where you go out and resurrect companies since you're doing coaching. I said, that sounds great. So we kind of went out and we filmed some stuff over in Utah and Minnesota. Not Minnesota, it was Utah and Ohio. And then when they started filming my family, they were like, oh, you need to do a reality TV show. Your family is freaking nuts. Like, they're chaotic. Like, you're this big, bad, let's go, bam guy, and then you go home and you hang it up on the corner, and guess what? Your family runs the show. Your wife, your 3 daughters, your son, your grandkids, you don't run anything. It's kind of like the Osbournes, but with a business aspect to it, right? And so I'm like, all right, let's do it. So we started to do that. Half my family loves it. Half my family hates it. I'm telling you, it's a tough battle. 2 of my kids are like, absolutely not. 2 of my kids are like, please give me more. Where do we sign up? And they followed us to Turks and filmed a lot of stuff, and it's cool and it's real, but it's exciting. But what's different about the Bam Fam show is that you can see how you can build a $1 million, $10 million, $100 million, billion-dollar business and still be a dad, be a grandpa, be a husband, argue, fight, deal with issues. Like some of the stuff on there, I'm coaching football, I'm getting thrown out of the game. I got my son's game, I'm not doing it because the cameras are on me, I'm being real. This guy's running his mouth, I'm like, hey, like we're arguing. I'm like, you're wrong, that's a bad call, you're out of here. Okay, like, but that's normal stuff. You know, the last post, I'm embarrassed to say, my 2-year-old grandson pooped the bed. And I don't mean like literally took his diaper off and shit the bed. Like there's a giant, it's bad. It's on social media. It's bad, but that happens. I just started this thing by saying life happens. We just happen to share it. Everybody goes through that. You guys have all kids, took their diaper off and painted the wall, played in it, ate it. I mean, they've done some crazy stuff. But we just share it, and that's kind of what the show's about, and it brings a little clarity. So I'll end it by saying this. I started it by saying you've got to be able to bet on yourself. You've got to be able to believe in yourself. You've got to be able to not take no for an answer. My dad played it safe. He played it to not lose. He didn't play to win. I'm going to say this, and I usually end a lot of my speeches with this. A lot of people talk about one day. One day I'm going to do that. One day I'm going to apply for that job. One day I'm going to open up my own business. One day I'm going to invest in myself for coaching. One day I'm going to ask that person out. One day I'm going to find somebody. One day. Why not day one? What the hell are you waiting for? Because one day will never come. All of a sudden you'll be another week into it, another month into it, 3 months into it, a year into it, still talking about it. I'm not one to talk about eating right because I eat bad, okay? From chest up, I feel like I'm in shape. From chest down, I got a dad bod, right? I like burgers and everything else, okay? But my point is if whatever you're trying to do in life, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a father, whether you're a mother, whether you're a spouse, whether you're, whatever it is, relationships, business, quit talking about one day. Start to talk about day one. Start to put it down and actually have progress. Don't quit on yourself. Don't look up and go, that's too hard to get to the 100th floor. Wrong, you don't have to build a $100 million company. You gotta build a company that does $1, then 50, then 100, then 1,000. then 5,000, then $1 million. Like, you just keep going up. I remember, I didn't expect to do 50 to 60 million a month. Hell no. I'm like, what? But guess what? Along the journey, staying relevant, making day one matter, right? Making today matter, putting in the effort, seeing the progress is important. But you can't get devastated or discouraged by looking at the top of the building and say, it's too hard. It's too hard, man, for me to pick up and build that business. It's not too hard. Make it day one, start investing in yourself and go out and crush it. Bam!